Hello, hockey fans, and welcome to this week's look at the standings. We'll start with the Eastern Conference. Montreal Canadiens continue to rule with 28 points in first place since the beginning of the seasons, 5-3-2. Even with Carey Price injured, they've won their last game. The Ottawa Senators are maintaining their second place in that division, 5-3-2 as well in their last 10, lost their last game. Tampa Bay Lightning, they are still in third place, maintaining a 19 points, 1 point behind Ottawa, 3-6-1, lost their last game. New York Rangers, top of their division, 9-0-1, won their last 9 games. Very impressive, 30 points, they're ahead of Montreal now. Washington Capitals, 23 points, 6-3-1, lost their last game. New Jersey Devils, 21 points. They've moved up a spot, 7-3-0 in their last 10, won their last 2. The New York Islanders, top of the wild card, 4-4-2, won their last game. They moved up a spot, and the Pittsburgh Penguins, they dropped to 20 points, 7-3-0, lost their last 2 games. See what happens? You just win or lose a couple of games, and you're bounced around the standings. Boston Bruins still not in the playoffs, 9th place. Same as last week, 17 points, 6-4-0, won their last game. Detroit Red Wings, 5-5-0, 500 record, lost their last 2, 17 points as well. In fact, there's 4 teams with 17 points here. Buffalo Sabres, 6-3-1, lost their last game. And the Florida Panthers, 4-4-2, won their last game. Nice to see Florida back into it. Philadelphia Flyers dropped a spot. 2-6-2, won their last game. They're not doing well at all. And by the way, Buffalo, they moved up 3 spots. They were in 14th last week, and this week they're 11th. Carolina Hurricanes dropped a spot, 4-4-2, lost 3. Toronto Maple Leafs, 4-4-2, lost their last game at 14 points each. And the Columbus Blue Jackets, they've won their last 2. They actually have a 6-4-0 record in their last 10 games, but only 12 points because of all those losses earlier in the season. So they continue to be in the basement. And now for the Western Conference. I saved this one for last because just about everybody moved. The Dallas Stars, 28 points, 8-2-0, won their last 2 games. Minnesota Wild, 23 points. They moved up a spot, 6-2-2 in their last 10, lost their last game. Nashville Predators, they jumped up 4 spots. They're 5-2-3 in their last 10, won their last game. And the Los Angeles Kings, top of their division at 22 points. Amazing, the difference. Standings changed nothing. 7-3-0 in their last 10, won their last 2 games. They were struggling at the beginning of the season, so for them to be at the top of their division is pretty good, considering that division seems to be pretty bad. Arizona Coyotes, 19 points, jumped up 5 spots, 6-4-0 in their last 10, lost their last game. The Vancouver Canucks, 19 points as well. They've dropped a spot, 4-4-2 in their last 10, lost their last 2. St. Louis Blues, first in the wild card, 23 points. They dropped 5 spots, but are 6-3-1 in their last 10, which is a good record to have lost 5 spots. Lost their last 2. Chicago Blackhawks, they moved up a spot. They're finally in the playoffs, barely. 21 points, 5-4-1 in their last 10, won their last 2. San Jose Sharks, they have dropped 3 spots, 18 points, 5-5-0 in their last 10, won their last 2. Winnipeg Jets, they dropped 2 spots, 3-6-1 in their last 10, lost 4. Colorado Avalanche, they went up 3 spots, they're 5-5-0, they've won 3 in a row. Anaheim Ducks, 14 points, dropped a spot at 4-3-3, lost their last game. Calgary Flames dropped a spot, 4-5-1 in their last 10, lost their last game. And the bottom basement again, Edmonton Oilers. Wow, they dropped a spot, 3-7-0 in their last 10, lost their last 2. Not much hope for Edmonton again this year. Well, we'll see. It's a long season, but they have a lot of catching up to do. Until next week.